Hey guys, I'm BoboTheVulture, and it is time for more Let's Play Dream Daddy. Who's gonna love you, baby? Um, got me a Diet Dr. Thunder. One parenting tip that has been passed down to me, that I will pass along to you, that even just as a married couple with a pregnant woman involved in it, has turned out to be invaluable, is ordering groceries online. We just did it for the first time, and turns out it's a lot easier than wandering through the grocery store and just trying to. Part of it is because, like when you go to the grocery store, you're planning, you're trying to think your way through stuff. Um, but you can just sort of sit down, do all that at the computer, get it all done, place the order, pick it up like, whenever you schedule a time. Um, we did it with Walmart. Walmart has enough groceries now that you can do your grocery shop there. But there's other places that do it. Harris Teeter, I know. I'm sure that there's any number of stores that will do it. Walmart did not have any additional fee involved in it, which was nice. They seemed to have their full selection of stuff because, they're already trying to branch into all to online retailing, as you guys may all know. Trying to work this all out logically. Let's go ahead and I kind of want to talk to Hugo and hang out with Hugo a little bit just because I want to let him know that Amanda Panda got into the college of her choice and, discuss her dreams and her future because that was kind of big news today, right? He, if he wants to brew some strong tea and paint some miniatures, that sounds like fun to me. He just reads different book on opposite sides of the couch in comfortable silence. Yeah, that sounds like a fine activity. It's not necessarily my dream date. Let's send Hugo Vega a message. I just want to be friendly to all these guys. I'm not trying to be like, hey there, kitty. Hazel, you have decided that you want in on this Dream Daddy activity. I wonder if it has, I'm sure it likely doesn't have anything to do with the activity Dream Daddy. It's just that this is an LP that I have figured out how to do in my living room. And so she sees me playing a game in the living room, wants to get my way. She sees me playing a game up in the office, and she finds it somewhat more awkward to get in my way. Because I'm pretty good at getting her off my desk. Hey, sweetheart. I navigate to Hugo's dad book page and type out a message. Hey, Hugo. Great seeing you at the barbecue. Want to hang out sometime? I'll wait for a few minutes before the computer dings. I'm so glad you messaged me, and I definitely want to hang out sometime, but I have a favor to ask. Our class is going on a field trip to the aquarium today, and one of our chaperones called in sick. Is there any possible way you could come in and replace them? Uh-oh. I completely understand if you don't want to or can't make it, but I'm going to be honest with you here. It's the middle school class. I need as much help as I can get. Think about it for a moment. Man, that's a lot of screaming kids that I'd be accountable for, and they're middle school. Arguably the worst age to be. Matt Groening called it the deepest pit in hell, and proclaimed high school as the second deepest pit in hell. This indie school is hell book. Amanda silently trudges into the kitchen and pours herself a bowl of cereal. Morning, Amanda. Morning, Pops. Hey, how is middle school for you?
Ugh.
Bad, but nobody likes middle school. It's 3 years of bad acne, crying, and being generally terrible.
Ugh.
Everyone sucks. No self-awareness. It's just a bunch of hormonal teenagers locked in a gross old building for 40 plus hours a week doing long division and starting fights over I don't know, pizza day, top 40's pop. Actually, a lot of kids in middle school are not teenagers yet, right? That's like, I guess 8th grade, yeah. Middle schoolers should be avoided at all costs. What was your middle school experience like? Well, I ended up going to two different middle schools. One for like a year and a half, and then the other for, I guess, also a year and a half. Kind of think of it, that was the only school year that I can remember offhand that I ever ended up splitting between different schools. I've had a lot of experiences in the past where I moved a lot. The Vulture clan did do some moving around when I was in my school years, but it was typically we would arrange it so it was during the summer, so that never really came to be a thing. But yeah, that was the one time. Um, one of them was real janky roach infested building that I don't believe is used anymore. The other one was, actually the other one, coincidentally, in this county was uh, one of the two high schools, because it was from the segregation days and they needed two different high schools. And then the high school I went to was the high school they built when they, ended segregation and had a unified high school. Um, so that dates how long ago that building was, and considering I don't consider it the old and janky one, that must tell you something about the other one, right? Hmm. Also, I think that one just underwent a big reno, and they're going to reopen it again. They had closed that one for a while, too. But I'm sorry, Amanda, that's probably not what you meant. I didn't like it at the time, but I sort of put my head down and was just like, nobody likes middle school. I know that nobody likes middle school. This is bad times. Just keep going. I had my first crush in middle school, and I'm still bitter about it. Alexis Stuggs, you hurt me and I'll never forget. What'd she do to you? I stare off into the middle distance, remember the 24 hours that we dated and 3 times we held hands between class periods. Then I remember the bitter betrayal, her leaving me for Arnold Birmingham, him making me eat dirt in front of her. I don't want to talk about it. See, middle schoolers are reprehensible. Wait, why are you asking me about middle school? Oh, Mr. Vega just asked my help to chaperone his middle school class at the aquarium. I just want to know what I was in for. You get to go to the aquarium? Are you kidding me? The last field trip I got to go on was a clam chowder factory. They didn't even give us clam chowder. They gave us square pizza at a clam chowder factory. Oh, is that why you won't eat clam chowder anymore? No, it's because Bobby Wellington threw up into one of the vats of clam chowder, and I'm the only one that saw it happen. It haunts me. Right, let's leave that story firmly in the past. I know why. You should just do it. Mr. Vega sounds like it really is to help. Plus, you get to hang out with cool fish. Amanda, I get kind of weird about aquariums. The ocean makes me nervous. Bullshit, the ocean makes me nervous. Ocean makes Bean nervous, maybe. She doesn't like when I go out in the ocean. Offering exciting details about our lives. I really do enjoy the ocean. Gotta be careful about riptides at the beach and that sort of thing, but yeah, it's a totally different experience than when you go to a big lake, right? There's movement, there's waves. The lake is like still, calm. What? Are you worried that a whale's gonna pop out of the touch tank and swallow you whole? Also, aquariums are fun just because, there's cool fish in them. There's turtles. Oh man, turtles. Don't you put fear in my heart. Well, do they have penguins there? Yes, they have penguins there. Then it's settled. Penguins outweigh fear of concern. I sit back down at the computer and let Hugo know that I'm available. He tells me to meet him at the aquarium and gives me the address. I grab my keys and kiss Amanda on the forehead before I head out. I'm also just doing a solid for teacher. Guys, You should try and do solids for teachers when you can. Teachers don't need half the shit they get, right? I'm sure SKS, if he's watching this, will confirm that teachers end up having to put up with a lot of shit, right? Anyway, I arrive at the aquarium and find that school buses have beaten me there. Preteens huddle around their teachers in small groups, yelling at each other and goofing off. Every teacher looks like they're at their wits' end. Hugo jogs up to me looking frazzled. I'm so glad you're here. Hugo. It's been a debacle all morning. We're short-handed and most of the kids won't stop screaming, as I'm sure you know is the case with all middle schoolers. Okay, so we're just gonna make a theme out of middle schoolers. Middle schoolers terrible, middle schoolers bad. I lived through Amanda at 12. I'm all too familiar. Great. Well, it's you and me chaperoning a group of 10 kids. They're over here. Hugo walks me over to a gaggle of preteens who are all sitting on the ground playing with their phones. They're not kicking each other like some of the other groups, so we're off to a good start. Can you guys put your phones away? All the kids look up for a moment to stare at Hugo. They then go back to texting. At least they're quiet? Too quiet. These guys are up to something. I can feel it. There's no way. They're too busy thinking about not getting food stuck in their braces to pull any stunts. It's middle school after all. We'll see. Classes start falling into the aquarium and Hugo hands out a massive stapled packets of paper to each kid. These are due at the end of the field trip. Yes, this will be for a grade. No, you can't borrow a pencil. The kids collectively groan and grab the sheets from Hugo. What's in the packet? Honestly, it's just busy work so the teachers can have a moment's reprieve. I think one of the questions asked them to sit quietly for 10 minutes to think about the Great Barrier Reef. Teacher hacks. I like that. Wait, I thought you were an English teacher. What does the aquarium have to do with books? Check them out. Books? Check them out. We just did a unit on the old man in the sea. Nothing quite like introducing kids to the futile perseverance of the human spirit by making them pet stingrays. It gives us time to check out some of the exhibits as well. Come on, they have a phenomenal section of tropical fish. While the kids sit on the floor and pretend to do their assignments while they text, Hugo and I walk over to a large tank filled with brightly colored fish. Hugo points to a brown and white fish with long spines. That right there is a lionfish. Did you know that their stomachs can expand up to 30 times in size? Whoa. Their spines are venomous too. Nature is hardcore. You think that's bad? Take a look at this one over here. Hugo points to a spiny, grumpy-looking fish hanging out near the bottom of the tank. That's a stonefish, the most venomous fish in the world. And they just, like, keep it here? Oh, they're relatively harmless as long as you don't step on them. What happens if you step on them? Tissue necrosis. Cool. Nature is wild. Man, Hugo seems to know a lot about fish. I feel the overwhelming need to impress him. Hey, see that fish over there? That one? Yeah, that's the deep sea fangly fish. Hey, kitten. Oh, there's no option to be a crappie? Well, I think we're presuming that I don't know anything specific about fish here, so I guess we're just coming up with a dumb fun name to be funny, right? How about the blue-nosed wigglyfish? The blue-nosed wigglyfish. Yeah? Did you know that... Paranormal fish trivia, psychiatric fish trivia, or political fish trivia? I mean... I want to find out what kind of weird ghost things these fish can do. This fish sleeps upside down, but contrary to popular belief, is not an actual vampire. That's the vampire fish.
Oh.
Wait, are you serious? Absolutely not. Playing it for the
Yes.
gag here. Ha! Good one. We leave the kids to another room. Sharks, sea turtles, eels, and other marine life swim around in a massive floor-to-ceiling aquarium. The kids begin trying to take selfies with the sharks. Turtles, guys, turtles! Hugo leaves my side to separate two kids who start fighting over a Capri Sun. I walk around the room, reading the tiny little blurbs about different fish swimming inside the enclosure. After a while, I look around and see Hugo again. He's gazing up in the aquarium in childlike wonder. The ripples of the water cast blue, moving shadows across his face. For someone surrounded by angry hormonal preteens, he looks completely peaceful. He looks really cute in this light. I hope he doesn't notice me staring. Wow.
Hmm.
I walk over to join him. Beautiful, isn't it? With those two sharks kissing, we can learn a great deal from Mother Ocean. I mean, none of these are exactly where I'm at. I'm probably just gonna agree, yeah, it is beautiful. So, great many mysteries lie in the ocean. It truly is fascinating to be able to observe it in a setting such as this. That's a very astute point, Bobo. We stand together for a moment, admiring the wonders of marine life. We eventually make our way to the touch tank room, which seems to be the only thing kids are actually interested in. The tank is filled with a variety of horseshoe crabs, sea urchins, stingrays, and small fish. Stand around the edges of the tank and keep a wary distance from the sea life. Who knows what kind of nefarious plans those horseshoe crabs have for my well-moisturized hands. I don't use moisturizer. Well, I try not. Lotion just feels weird on me. Hugo rolls up his sleeve and sticks his hand in the water. Don't you want to pet some rays, Bobo? Oh, I'm surprised at you, Hugo. Didn't you know that petting the stingrays can adversely affect their lifespans? Although, you know, the alternative being living in the wild, of course. Yeah. Oh, I think I'm good. I don't really. I think I should just stay over here and admire them from a respectable distance. Come on, it'll be fun and informative. Don't make fun of me, but I'm scared to touch them. I get weird when there's no glass separating us. I don't know what any of those things are, but I get the feeling they'll probably bite me in my delicious hands if given the chance. Nothing in this tank can hurt you. Stingrays have had their barbs removed, horseshoe crabs only eat little clams, and the anemones are perfectly safe to touch. Against my better judgment, I approach the tank. Slowly dipping my hand in the cold water, I touch a stingray as it glides past me. See, not so bad. It feels like fun, slimy leather. Things get a lot less scary when you learn more about them, right? I dive my hand back into the touch tank with renewed vigor for ocean life. I poke at some sea urchins and feel the hard carapace of a horseshoe crab. My hand brushes against Hugo's as we reach for the same anemone. I pull away, blushing. Hugo smiles at me. Hey, you're supposed to be touching the fish. Sorry, I just get a little carried away Wait, that girl over there looks suspicious. Why's
Oh.
that? Are backpacks usually that wet? Hold on. Susan? Susan, get back here! Hugo runs after a middle schooler and catches her before she can make it to the exit. Want to tell me what's in the bag? Uh, Textbooks. Want to tell me what's really in the bag? Susan won't budge. I walk over to Hugo and the girl. I think he might need a bad cop. Look, kid. We don't have time for games here. I'm not gonna threaten to hit a kid. I also, these are claims that you can't back up. Whatever it is, it goes back in the touch tank. Now. You're not a teacher. You can't tell me what to do. Yes, well, I am. Could you please put the bag down? Next time we won't say please. Susan glares at Hugo for a moment for dropping her book bag on the floor. It lands with a wet slap. We stare at it for a moment before it starts to move.
Huh?
Hugo leans down and unzips the backpack. A horseshoe crab frantically scuttles out and across the floor. An employee swoops in, scoops it up, and places it back into the tank. She gives us a disapproving look. Jesus, Susan, what was your plan? I was trying to free him. To where? Outside? Where he was gonna die?
I don't know.
Susan, go back to your group. I don't know. We'll discuss this later. Yeah. And hands where we could see him. Susan sulks off, leaving me alone with Hugo. He gives me a pat on the shoulder. Middle schoolers have sticky hands. I doubt that's the first time that's happened here. Or the last. In the next room, we see a variety of smaller tanks. Sea urchins, tiny fish, and a rainbow of beautiful underwater plant life surrounds us.
Oh.
Look over here. Hugo points to some seahorses gathered at the bottom of the tank. One of them is in the middle of giving birth. That's actually the male seahorse. Sort of takes fatherhood to a new level, doesn't it? Hey kids, come check this out. There's a male seahorse giving birth. A low murmur from the students. They just jump back on their phones. Hey. Fun fact, male seahorses can even give birth and then get pregnant in the same day. Man, we thought we had it hard. I wonder if they have to deal with their kids' awkward teenage years, too. All however many thousand of them. You seem to know a lot about marine life, Hugo.
Oh.
It's not really my speciality, but I do make a point to learn as much as possible whenever I can. I think that learning shouldn't end when you leave school. We should challenge ourselves to find out more about the things we don't understand every day of our lives. Because if you stop learning, I don't think you'll ever be able to grow or change as a person. Good point. Relax. But I still don't trust the ocean. We'll get there. We finally make our way over to my favorite part of the tour, the Arctic exhibit. Do we get to see the penguins? Yes, we get to see the penguins. Hell yes. Our group of kids run around the exhibits. They won't stop tapping on the glass of the puffin enclosure, trying to get their attention. For at least a few moments, teachers, chaperones, and student alike seem to be having a great time. What was I so worried about? This isn't too bad.
Sweet Manchego.
Uh-oh, sweet Manchego. Hugo suddenly grabs my arm. Oh my god, there's a student in the penguin enclosure. Wait, just kidding, it's very bad. Is it one of ours? It most certainly is. Molly Henderson, Susan's friend. Look over to the penguins and see a determined-looking kid crouching behind a rock. She's hiding just out of sight of one of the employees. Over on the side of the enclosure, I see the door to the exhibit ajar. Was it unlocked this whole time? We gotta stop her before the staff sees and bans our school for life. Hugo looks around. I'll create a distraction. Hugo runs towards the puffin exhibit and addresses the entire room. Everybody! 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 I have an announcement. The whole room turns toward Hugo. Here's a few facts I bet you didn't know about penguins. Everybody just stares at Hugo, confused. Well, this is my shot. I run into the enclosure and I'm greeted by a cold blast of air. Psst, hey! The girl whips around to look at me. Her nose is pink from the cold. You can't be in here! Neither can you! I try to walk over to the girl, but the ground is so icy I just end up slipping. Catch myself before I hit the ground, but the girl still laughs at me. Contrary to popular belief, penguins are birds. Birds are traditionally known to fly, but penguins cannot. So I can understand some confusion when we're discussing the birdness of penguins. The crowd is still somehow enraptured. Kid, what are you even doing? I'm letting the penguins go. They deserve freedom. Where are they even gonna go? They're gonna live in my closet. Look, I don't even have time to argue about this. We gotta get out of here. Not until I save a penguin. Little known fact is that penguins only live in cold climates. With some exceptions. So they don't all live in cold climates if you're splitting hairs here. Did I mention that they don't fly? The crowd is starting to lose interest. I'm running out of time. Try to relate to her. I understand that zoos suck, but think back to the time I released all the feeder mice from the pet store. It was a disaster. I was 6, but it was a disaster. Molly, you know, life can be cruel. Money. Give me money. I will give you $20 right now if you leave with me. Molly thinks for a second. Okay, well give it to me right now. I reach into my pocket and pull out everything I have, examining each bill. Okay, well I have $12 and some change. Also there's a button here. Is that enough? Pay me the other later and we have a deal. We moved the shake. Did we move shake on our arrangement before I suddenly realized there's a wave of penguins on their way out of the enclosure? We're gonna have to block those birds. I sense a minigame. Yeah. Oh, you're supposed to project with your hand. Would have been good to have had some understanding of what the game is, I guess. Oh, okay. I could have had a perfect score here if I'd known that that's what's actually supposed to happen. But I still got a rank of S, so whatever. Eat a balanced meal every day. That includes fruit, vegetables, and protein, but not the last D on balanced. Oh good, that weird sound stopped. Whew, glad that's over, just in time too. Looks like Hugo's wrapping up his diversionary penguin speech. That's why I think the penguins are one of the best animals in the world. A few people out in the audience clap out of a sense of duty. Everybody starts dispersing. Hugo spots us from across the way and runs over. Molly, what were you doing in there? I was liberating animals, Mr. Vega. You realize that penguins can only survive in Arctic temperatures, right? You would have had a dead penguin on your hands. Well, it was the thought that counts. No, Molly, it wasn't. Molly turns to me.
What?
You owe me $8. What? I'll pay you later, kid. Molly runs off towards Susan, I suppose so that they can compare animal thief notes.
Oh.
You're not off the hook, Molly.
Hmm?
Bobo, did you just bribe a child? Yeah, I'm not gonna lie to him. But you can't play by the rules when there's penguins on the line. Listen, man, we've all done dark things in our lives. I'm not the young bright-eyed youth I used to be. That person believed in a world where you wouldn't have to bribe children to save a penguin. The me today knows different. I only wish I could go back.
Oh.
Let's just get through the day and get out of here. The day finally coming to a close, the whole field trip is ushered through the gift shop and we make our way back out to the school buses. As we leave the aquarium and the kids load onto the buses, Hugo pulls me
Ah.
aside. Hey, Bobo, thank you so much for helping me out today. You're a lifesaver. It was no problem. It was actually kind of fun.
Ah.
Let me take you out next time to make it up to you. You like cheese boards? I love cheese boards. I'm all about cheese boards. There's nothing on earth more satisfying than a good cheese board. I'm not going to say there's nothing on earth more satisfying than a good cheese board, but I am all about cheese boards. I'd prefer if we could also add a little bit of charcuterie, but, you know, good cheese board. Great. Well, I gotta go make sure these kids don't steal anything else. See you around. Well, that was nice, wasn't it? I walk inside to find the house empty. I wonder where the panda's at. Before I know it, Amanda pops in through the front door. What you up to tonight? Just doing some homework. How's the aquarium? It was an adventure. Some kid tried to steal a penguin.
Aww.
We've all been there. I had to run in and grab her before any of the employees saw.
Alright.
You got to go into the penguin enclosure? Did you steal a penguin for us? No, but I let one escape because I didn't know you were supposed to hit the space bar. Amanda, no penguins were stolen thanks to the valiant efforts of myself and Mr. Vega. It was nice getting to spend some time with Hugo, though.
Ah.
I'm surprised he helped complete a covert op. He's usually kind of a what? Kind of a stick in the mud? He's actually pretty cool. I had a good time with him. Alright, too much adventure for me today. I'm gonna go rest my eyes. You mean take a nap? There's a difference. You'll learn when you become a father. Surf has been telling me this endlessly. He's resting his eyes. It's different. Date complete. How do we do on this one?
That was so good you gave me goosebumps.
Goosebumps, eh? Alright, let's click to continue. Asiago getter.
You've got dads.
Well, we got dads again, everybody. That went very well, though, so I'm going to go ahead and drop a save down on that. It was nice to go and have a fun little day with Manda Panda's teacher. We didn't really get to talk too much. Didn't get to talk too much about Manda Panda's, you know, issues. But, yeah, I'm sure we'll get to do that eventually at some point down the line. But until then, though, this is Bobo the Vulture. This has been Let's Play Dream Daddy. And when we come back next time, we got to figure out who it is that we're going to talk to next. I don't want to make any promises. I feel like we should go back and, you know, you make new friends but keep the old. I feel like, I don't know. Oh, Hazel's on my lap again, so I'll just go ahead and leave it there. Good night, everybody.